My phone said the pickup was inside the gate. That should have been enough for me to decline. It was just past midnight, New Year's Eve slipping into New Year's Day, and the night had been easy in a way that made me nervous. 3 short rides, no drunks looking for a fight, no one slamming doors or arguing about routes. The kind of shift where you start thinking about going home early. I remember thinking, don't jinx it. The request came in close, just 2 minutes away. Pickup pin, Cedar Ridge service entrance. Drop off, North Hills. A normal ride, airport adjacent, people with early flights. Easy enough. I accepted it without thinking too hard. The street was quiet, brick walls, iron fencing, evenly spaced HOA lights casting soft yellow circles onto wet pavement. Expensive quiet. The kind of neighborhood built around the idea that nothing unexpected happens after midnight. At the end of the street was a vehicle gate set into a fence. Beyond it, a curved private drive disappeared toward low buildings I couldn't see clearly. A keypad on a post, a camera dome above it, and a small gray sensor box near the hinge. A man stood on the other side of the gate. He had a backpack over one shoulder and a small rolling suitcase upright beside him. Nothing about him felt urgent or off. He raised his phone and waved casually when my headlights hit the gate. I rolled down my window. "Hey," he called. "You Jeremy? Uber?" "Yeah, my name's on the app," I said. He nodded. "Yeah, I'm Dylan. That's me." The app agreed. No profile photo, no rating. "The gate won't open," he said. "Pedestrian exit's busted. It only triggers for cars." I looked past him. There was no vehicle behind the gate. "Where'd you come from?" I asked. Building back there," he said, gesturing vaguely. "Been stuck longer than I wanted." He slid a flat white plastic card through the bars. No logo, no magnetic strip, just a small sticker with a printed number, like an access badge meant not to be noticed. "Do you mind doing me a favor and just holding this up to the sensor on your side? It should work and open the gate." I hesitated. One of my rules is to not get out of the car. Not for gates, not for favors, not to help people with bags, not for real quick. But it was New Year's. He wasn't asking for money or anything personal. It was a quiet, safe-looking area. There was a camera right there, explaining the whole interaction to anyone who cared to look or listen later. I opened my door. More cold air hit my face. The street was silent, except for the distant hum of traffic. As I walked toward the sensor box, Dylan kept talking. "Busy night?" he asked. "Earlier," I said, "but pretty calm now." "Lucky," he said. "I thought it'd be a mess." I held the card to the sensor. Nothing. I adjusted it and tried again. No beep, no light. "Sometimes it takes a second," Dylan said. I held it there. Still nothing. I was about to turn around, about to tell him it wasn't working, about to get back in my car and cancel it, when I heard my driver's door close. Not slammed, just closed. And then my car started moving. It rolled forward smoothly, like someone easing out of a driveway they'd used 100 times. By the time my brain caught up, the headlights had already swung and the taillights were disappearing around the curve. I didn't shout right away. There was no dramatic moment. Just the quiet understanding that I was suddenly on the wrong side of something. I turned back to the gate. Dylan, the man, whoever he was gone. No suitcase, no backpack, no phone, nothing. The driveway behind him, behind the bars, was empty, the way it must have been the whole time. My phone was in the car, my wallet, my jacket, everything. The only thing I had was my spare key fob on its lanyard, cold in my hand. The police came. They were polite, tired, efficient. They asked if I'd left the engine running. I said yes. They contacted the rideshare company. The rider account had already been deleted. Burner email, prepaid payment method. The detective explained it like it was a weather pattern. The HOA said the gate camera footage was unavailable. Storage issue, corrupted file. There was nothing they could do. Insurance put me on hold. Rideshare support sent a templated email apologizing for the inconvenience. Everyone agreed it was unfortunate. No one could explain anything. 4 days later, they found my car. It was parked in a long-term parking lot at the airport, backed neatly into a space like it had been placed there deliberately. No damage, no mess, just left. Inside, it smelled faintly of disinfectant, like a rental car between customers. My phone was in the center console, powered completely off. Not dead, just off. The only thing missing was my dash cam. Not torn out. The wire had been clipped neatly and tucked back like someone cared about how it looked. Everything else was exactly where I left it. Almost. In the trunk behind my emergency kit was a small black duffel bag. Not mine. It wasn't zipped tight. It wasn't hidden. Just resting there like it belonged. I stared at it for a long time before opening it. It was empty. Later that night, at home, I found the note under the driver's seat. Folded once, plain printer paper. 3 lines. Do not pursue further explanation. Do not report items you did not lose. If asked about that night, you were alone. No threats, no signatures, just rules. I told the detective what was missing. I didn't mention the bag. I didn't mention the note. It felt easier to follow the script than challenge it. Whatever happened didn't feel like theft. It felt like my car had been used, borrowed, returned clean, like I'd been a temporary access point rather than a victim. They didn't need force. They needed someone who would unlock things, someone who would step out when asked, someone who would explain things away afterward. In the weeks after I got it back, I kept trying to reverse engineer the night, replaying it the way you worry a sore tooth with your tongue. I thought about the airport lot, the disinfectant smell, the fact that it had been returned with a full tank of gas and no mileage discrepancy anyone could question. I tried to imagine what kind of errand required a clean vehicle, no dash cam, and a driver who could be erased mid-ride. It wasn't a joyride. It wasn't something rushed. It felt like something procedural. I pictured stops that wouldn't show up anywhere, places that needed a car but not a person, access without questions, movement without memory. The more I went over it, the more it felt intentional, that I never saw where it went, that I never knew how long it was gone. Like the uncertainty itself was part of the design. A month later, I sold the car, took the loss. I couldn't shake the feeling that it had been somewhere it wouldn't tell me about. I don't drive rideshare anymore, not because of that night itself, because of how easily I followed the rules, because I think about that pickup pin inside the gate, and I realize now it wasn't a mistake. It was an instruction, and I stepped through it without realizing I'd crossed anything at all.